Introducing the all-new Corolla.
When we heard what was said by Dan Summerfleck last night at the board meeting, and when we listened to what he said again on the radio this morning, you know, God bless him, but he just doesn't know what he's talking about. The truth of the matter is that the Hay Plan, as adopted, doesn't reduce any teacher salary, and it doesn't demote any teacher.
Attorney Dan Summerfleck has told PNC that he isn't saying that teachers' salaries have been cut. Instead, he says his concern is that the new Hay Plan doesn't take into account the many years of service that some longtime teachers have put in. Some teachers, however, have complained that they were demoted.
Really, what happened was the new educator pay plan is capped at step 10. So if you were at the top of the scale, and that was about step 13 on the old pay plan, just because you're on step 10 now doesn't mean you were demoted. You're still at the top of the teacher pay plan.
Meanwhile, Vice Speaker BJ Cruz says his office has been fielding many complaints from employees who are upset over the Hay recommended raises they were given. On Friday, some were given $5 checks, $3 checks, and one even received a 40-cent check.
Oh, lots and lots of them. I mean, we're getting complaints about the fact that they got absolutely ridiculous checks. I got one that was redacted to take the person's name and social security number off, but this person got 40 cents.
Leon Guerrero, on the other hand, says that a majority of teachers received noticeable to significant pay raises.
Just under 60% of public school teachers receive a noticeable to significant increase in their pay, and that's anywhere from $30 a paycheck, which equates to about $780 in annual salary raise, which, you know, for a lot of people is an extra paycheck a year. Again, all the way up to the ceiling, which is more than $500 a paycheck.
The Vice Speaker says that in 2010, there were issues with the Hay Plan, and during the recent hearings, DOA officials kept assuring lawmakers that all of these concerns and issues had been cleaned up. However, the Vice Speaker says, according to GovGuam employees who have been calling his office, these concerns have not all been cleaned up.
The phone is constantly ringing with someone having some kind of complaint about it. So I'm not surprised, and we told them not to do it until they cleaned up this mess.
The Vice Speaker says this is precisely why they held 2 hearings to find out how the governor was planning on implementing the Hay Plan.
Well, if the legislature accepted the 30,000 pages of documents as submitted by DOA, then they would know exactly what went on, because they asked for all the individual slottings and they received all the individual slottings.
It should be noted that the Speaker of the legislature refused the documents because they weren't accompanied by an inventory or list of what documents were being transmitted. Teachers aren't the only ones calling senators about the Hay Plan. Speaker Judy Wanpat says she's received complaints from various people, including a nurse.
You said the salary. They said they were supposed to get the full implementation, and from what they're hearing, that's not necessarily the case.
So in this particular nurse, she didn't see a check that reflected full implementation?
No.
The Hay?
Mm-hmm.